This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Kickstart summer at Lowe's with Memorial Day savings on major appliances like the Smart Whirlpool Top Load Washer, featuring the 2-in-1 removable agitator in a color you'll only find at Lowe's. Take it out for bulky items, leave it in for a more thorough clean. You can customize any load, plus skip steps with the Load and Go dispenser. Simply add detergent once and skip the refills. Memorial Day savings start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. You know, when you get a little bit of cash, you can really level up the pranks. Nick Cannon, we know Nick Cannon from America's Got Talent, and was he a singer? Didn't he sing for a while?
I know he did radio. I think he was maybe an entertainer.
He was a radio guy.
Comic.
He did a lot of Nickelodeon stuff.
Yeah,
there we go. And then Wild 'N Out, because he bought Teen Nick, and
that's right.
It was it was crazy.
He's a man that wears many hats, BJ.
Yeah. Well, he's very talented, and apparently has some cash because he pranked Kevin Hart by sending him a llama for his birthday.
That's awesome. If you got the cash to do it, do it.
Yeah, I want a llama. That'd be awesome.
God, you can't keep a llama in your apartment.
That's true.
No, I would be so angry. So Kevin was like, oh, yeah, okay. He got him back. And so Kevin Hart, because Kevin's got some cash too, he put up a bunch of billboards in L.A., Atlanta, and New York with Nick's actual phone number on them.
Geez, that escalated real quick.
Yeah. The billboard said, quote, "For any advice on fatherhood, call my best friend, Nick Cannon." And, I mean, these are giant billboards, and there's his telephone number right on there. The number, as you would expect, is disconnected now, but for a while it was blowing up, and Nick filmed himself talking to excited fans.
What's poppin'? Y'all got my number from Kev?
Yeah, man.
Nice to talk to y'all. I gotta go because the phone is blowing up. It's me. I got another call coming in though. The phone's about to die.
Oh my goodness.
Thanks, Kev.
Thanks, Kev. I wouldn't even know how to handle that. Like, if I saw something like his number, I don't think I would ever call it.
I would think it was fake.
Yeah.
Or like a Cameo thing or something. You know what I mean? Like an ad for Cameo.
Or a lot of celebrities now, they have like, hey, text me at this number. And it's like you're basically joining their text database. And it's not really their number. You're just now like, you get like, quote unquote, personalized messages from them.
Oh, I never even thought of that. Okay.
Yeah, so every so often, you know, Dr. Phil sends me a "what are you wearing" text. It's kind of weird.
Oh, wow, that is weird.
I don't know why I decided to join Dr. Phil's text line, but that was the first.
I don't know either, to be honest with you. But you know what? Good for you.
I couldn't think of anyone, and my first thought was Michael Landon, and I'm like, oh, that's stupid.
Michael Landon and Dr. Phil are your celebrity go-tos if you want to pull up something in your brain.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Of all the people, you got Little House on the Prairie and Are You a Stupid Idiot? I mean, those are the two people you got.
Those are the first two people I thought of.
Wow.
And, you know, he was also the guy, Seventh Heaven guy, too, wasn't he? Or Stairway to Heaven.
Well, you know what? Landon? You're a big Michael Landon fan. You obviously know everything he's done.
I'm a big
Seventh Heaven was not him. I think that was the
Stairway
Stephen Collins.
Heaven, I think.
Stairway to Heaven was a great
Highway to Heaven.
Song. There we go. That's Well, you know, you are spot on with that Michael Landon love.
It's crazy that I was once elected president of the Michael Landon fan club.
Yeah. I don't think it's that crazy at all, actually.
Dude, the billboard is fantastic because not only does it say, hey, advice on fatherhood, call my best friend Nick Cannon, but next to it is a picture of Kevin Hart holding the llama.
Oh,
and he
that's
looks
awesome.
miserable.
So that way he definitely can say, Nick, just in case you're confused about what this is about, this is what this is about.
Well, wasn't that rapper Mike Jones, and he, in one of his most popular song many, many years ago, but his most popular song, it had his number in it. And people would call and he answered.
Wow.
I don't know if he kept it for very long, but it was his actual number.
Yeah, I only accidentally called a celebrity one time. And it wasn't my fault. It was the fault of the company he was working with. Will Wheaton was selling some sort of audio book, and I couldn't get it on my phone to work. And so the company said, "Hey, if you have a problem with this, just call this number." And I'm like, "Okay." And I called the number, and Will answered, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm having a problem. I can't get Will Wheaton's audio book to load." And he goes, "What?
Why are you calling me?
Can you fix this?" And he goes, and then finally I recognized his voice. I said, wait, is this Will? And he goes, yeah. And what are you calling me? And I'm like, and eventually I had to tell him, I go, dude, they got your number printed on this website. Yeah.
He should have just started reading you the book then.
That would have been really cool.
Right? Anytime you want to read it, just call him up.
Can't really get it to go. So what are you doing right now? What do you say? You read it for me, buddy.
Dude, I'm looking at the Kevin Hart post of the billboard, and it's funny to see some of the celebrities that are just commenting on it, which is great. Like Snoop Dogg just wrote, wow.
Yeah.
And then I wonder if Snoop Dogg looked at his phone and see, I got Nick Cannon's number. Is this really his number? And looked at it and goes, oh crap, this really is.
I just love it because it's two shots in one. Not only are you giving out his number, but he's like, give him fatherly advice, because in the month of June this year, he had 3 kids with two people.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, that's why. He has 7 kids now.
Wait. Nick Cannon just had 3 kids with 2 different people in how many months?
They had 3 kids in the month of June of this year. So with
are they
one
all
partner,
cool with this, or is this a hookup?
Allegedly,
wow.
Because he said all my kids were planned, is what he said.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
So we got twins. Is that because it's 2 different people, right?
Yes.
So it's got to be twins.
So he had his current partner. They had twins on June 14th. And then a model who appeared on the music game show Wild and Out, Alyssa Scott, gave birth on June 23rd.
Whoa!
So they're pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a polyamorous relationship, or did he leave one? I mean,
maybe he just really wanted to prove he was wilding out.
Right, and then he had twins with Mariah Carey, and then he had 2 kids with somebody else. So it's 7 kids total now.
That's a lot of kids. No wonder why he works so hard.
So are there 3 different moms? Is that the idea altogether?
Well, there's Mariah, a gal named Brittany Bell, Abby De La Rosa, and Alyssa Scott. So 4 moms.
He's got 4 different moms with all those kids. Okay.
Kevin Hart's right. Yeah, if you want advice on fatherhood, if anyone knows about being a dad, it's Nick Cannon.
Wow, is that a slam, though? Dude, seriously.
Right?
Dude, that's a shutdown prank. Like, that's the type of prank where you're like, if you're friends with Kevin Hart and someone's like, yo, we should prank Kevin Hart, like, no. Did you hear what he did to Nick Cannon? We are not messing with Kevin Hart. He goes for the jugular.
I want everybody to know that's how I will respond. I have been very clear about that because I hate pranks. Mm-hmm. I will Kevin Hart you. So just remember that, everybody.
But you also don't have $200 million like Kevin Hart does.
Well, and if you're going to Kevin Hart me, I've always wanted to be on a billboard. I mean, so maybe it's worth it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Are you sure you want to be on the billboard? Let me know, because, I mean, it could be worth it with what I put on the billboard.
What would you put on the billboard?
Well, I'm not going to tell you. You need to see it. I mean, that's the surprise.
Know.
No,
because all right, give me like your Plan B billboard option.
You think you know everything about that? Oh, nothing would bother me. But there's a few things in life that I'm like, I think this might bother Steve, and I'm not going to tell you now because you'd have a chance to prepare for it.
Oh,
so just and also this is my way of.
If you're sliding Michael Landon on a billboard, you're absolutely right. That would be upsetting.
That would be horrible. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Or Dr. Phil.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take care of your 2 celebrity crushes in one billboard. Wow.
I wonder how many calls he got. Like, I wonder if he looked at his phone.
I'm going to say at least in the thousands.
Oh, dude, yeah, absolutely. I'm with you, because not only put the billboards up there, but he also put it on his social media page. Kevin Hart did. So he put a picture of the billboard, and Kevin. I mean, it's not a ton of people, but he has 116 million followers on Instagram.
Oh, okay. For a minute there, I thought it was going to be a lot of people that would see that. You're right. That's not a lot. I mean, yeah, dude, that's a super flex and a super shutdown.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, now I know not to mess with Kevin Hart. And the funny thing is that The Rock has been doing it for a long time. I guess The Rock has I will come over and just crush you with one part of my anatomy. So maybe that's why Rock doesn't worry about messing around with Kevin Hart so much. But damn.
Right. The Rock commented on it too. I can't find his comment, but he did also comment on the picture as well, which I think is funny. Oh, he wrote, "Oh, this is good." A bunch of laughing emojis.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I mean, I wouldn't want to prank him back because you don't want to know what he would do back to you. But how do you beat that? Like, I'm trying to think of a better prank. Like,
I mean, you got to make everybody keys to Kevin Hart's house. I mean, what else could you do?
Yeah, go visit him. He's baking pies.
Yeah, I mean, what else could you do? Here's his security code. Feel free to walk in anytime. I mean, really, I don't know what else you could do to top that, Vicky. That's pretty. And you know how hard it is to change a phone number? I mean, that really is annoying. Because everybody's got your old phone number, and now you got to go, okay, here's my new digits because of Kevin Hart.
Annoying, but also kind of nice.
Right.
Because sometimes you get a bunch of texts after a while. Like, I mean, I did that because of when Andy gave out my number on the air. And
I didn't know he did that. Andy did that?
Yeah, we just talked about it like a month ago.
Yeah.
Well, I've forgotten.
No, it's all good. There's a lot of information out there, BJ.
There you go.
But yeah, he did, and it was funny for a second, and then after a while, I was like, okay, I think I need to change my number because it was just not stopping. And this is like before. I mean, texts were just starting to be a thing. Back in the day, you used to not be able to text people; you had to just call them on the phone. And it was a crazy time in America.
Wow.
But then when text came out, you had to pay per text. Was that a situation you had?
I don't know. Luckily, it was a work phone, so it was a free phone.
Oh,
Back in the day, we used to get cool perks like free cell phones.
Wow. Oh, I remember that.
Ooh. Yeah, those days are long gone. But the text just wouldn't stop, even when it was relatively a new thing, and that wouldn't stop. But the phone calls and the voicemails were just like, my voicemail box was full all the time. And it went like that for like a couple of weeks, and then finally I was just like, it stopped, and I was like, okay, I think I weathered the storm, and I'm good. But then every once in a while, you get that random, 3 a.m. Friday night phone call from someone that's drunk, and you're like, and I'm like, yeah, it's time to go. And it was the best decision I made. I was like, it was just time to get a new number.
Damn, dude, I'd be so angry. By the way, if that was ever done, if he ever did that to me, that would have ended our friendship.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't ever talk to him, so I guess it all works out. He only has my old number.
Yeah, it's a good point. I hadn't thought about these guys. Yeah, so right. Well, maybe should I put your newer number up on a billboard so he can find you again?
I saw somebody's posted a screenshot of somebody's phone call, and they had the person's contact info on there, and it had the person's name, and then it said newest. And I was like, wow, I thought I was the only one. Do you guys do this when someone gets a new phone number and they text you the new number? I don't delete the old number. Why? I don't know. But I'll have Danny V. And then if you send me a new number, I'll be like, Danny V new. And then if you send me another new number, I'll write Danny V new 2021. I don't know what it is, but I'm
why don't
hoarder.
You can just easily just replace the information.
I know, but I'm worried that what if he switches back to that phone number? I don't know why, BJ. It's a weird hoarder mentality, but I saw someone else do that, and it made me feel better about my weirdness.
I mean,
that's weird.
I want to make fun of you, but I've done that but I've had a few friends who I guess are into shady things because they're constantly changing their number that I had to give it up. I had to just stop with the hoarderness, but I feel you, dude. I've done that.
I don't do that necessarily. I just don't delete contacts. So, there's a lot of, now I just update them. So, it like BJ was saying, if it's a new number, I'll just update the number. But there are some people on my phone that I'm like, I don't even know who this is. How did they get into my phone? It's just because I never deleted them. But I didn't talk to them on a regular basis.
See, I'm afraid, I don't know why, but I don't want to put it in the same contact because what if I start using the old number again? And again, I should just get rid of the old number. BJ, none of this makes sense. I
know. I am looking at you, and all I'm thinking of is Michael Landon and Dr. Phil.
These numbers.
You don't. Yeah, you know what? You're showing me exactly. Look at you. All the new. Yeah, what are you doing?
I don't know.
What are you doing? That is a horrible filing system, and Apple will update a contact for you too. If as soon as they contact you with the new number, sometimes Apple will go, "Hey, this is Slappy." It turns out that would you like to just change his number to this one?
I mean, your reasons and your extra things are all right. I just for some reason that's just my method. It's the old. So it says I do the exact same thing with my phone numbers as well, Steve. See, I thought I was the only weird one until I saw someone screenshot. I'm like, oh, well, maybe then I'm in the majority. And I thought I'd share with you guys. I was expecting you all to be like, oh, we do it too.
No.
Then I realized, no, I'm just weird.
No.
And that other person was weird as well.
Maybe it's a holdover from flip phones or something. I don't know. I have no idea why. I don't know. But, next time you're having coffee with Michael Landon.
He's dead, BJ.
Well, one can hope.
Hope what?
That's right. Don't ever try to prank me. Or you'll be having coffee with Michael Landon. You heard me.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going to murder me.
This mother effer can't even walk normally without hurting himself. I'm not worried about him murdering anybody.
Oh, really? Well, you know what? I will fall on him, and that will probably do him in.
So since I do the same thing, I have a ton of quote-unquote new numbers.
Yeah, you know what? There are words that I will not say about you people. Just, you know what? Have a good time in your lives. That's all I'm going to say.
So since I have every telephone number that anyone has ever given me. I don't even know how many contacts I have. I save everybody's number.
Yeah. I mean, look, you're in the business where you have to, so I'm not going to fault you for that. But, yeah, what are you doing, people? I mean, seriously, even Danny, what are you doing? If you don't recognize the number, just delete it. Or look and see the last time there was any contact and just go, I'm out.
It's saved in my Google account. I'm not going to go through that.
All right, then. Well, fine.
Yeah. That's I don't even know how to look at my contacts in my Google account, to be honest with you.
Oh, so then it really isn't a problem, then, is it?
No.
Okay, good. You know what? This has been a
You're
wonderful
just wasting
conversation.
Internet space, man.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
You know what? You're wasting my space, Danny, is really what it is.
Yeah.
Be careful. I might want you dead with Michael Landon.
That's
fine. You know what? You're not going to have coffee with? Steve. Okay?
Because
he's with Michael Landon.
I gotcha.
All right, there you go. Now you got it. Now you're following. All right. Hey, what do you think was voted as the most stressful thing that we do while driving? Well, you don't have to think about it too long, because at 8:17, I'm going to tell you on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Kickstart summer at Lowe's with Memorial Day savings on major appliances like the smart Whirlpool top-load washer featuring the 2-in-1 removable agitator in a color you'll only find at Lowe's. Take it out for bulky items, leave it in for a more thorough clean. You can customize any load, plus skip steps with the Load and Go dispenser. Simply add detergent once and skip the refills. Memorial Day savings start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. They were talking to a bunch of people, and they said, hey, what makes you the most nervous behind the wheel?
Oh, Final Destination log truck.
You're absolutely right, dude. And I was, in our area, there are log trucks on the road.
I feel like at least once every month, at least once a month, I'm behind one of them, and it's just like, you got to be kidding me.
It's scary, dude.
And if you're Steve, at that point, metal bars coming at your head instead of a log one. Remember?
Right.
Thankfully, Miggs was okay.
Thank you, Steve Rabel.
Yeah. Yeah, I did forget about that, dude. That's a concern, stuff flying off the freeway and hitting you in the windshield.
Oh, dude, every once in a while, still now to this day, if it's even like a random bag or a leaf, I see it coming for half a second, I do flinch just because of what happened.
Oh, sure.
But then I'm like, oh, well, it's a stupid leaf. I'm fine.
Thankfully, Miggs was okay.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you.
Yeah. See, Steve Rabel, he cares about you, buddy.
He does. He cares about the Seahawks and Steve Miggs.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Holy catfish is, I think, what he said when he heard the story.
Yeah.
I was like, well, thankfully, it makes. So, all right. So for you, Steve, it's the Final Destination truck. Anybody else? What's your worst fear of driving?
Not so much fear, but it does heighten everything else. It's when you're in the car and you have a screaming kid in the back seat, because then everything else, like you can't focus. It's like, oh crap, whether it's raining a little bit, everything is just amplified.
Need to get home quickly.
It's like, I need to get home. I need to pull over, freaking out. It's like, I can't attend to them. Like I can't give them food or whatever it is they want, and it makes everything so much
for
more
you,
stressful.
it's a child. A child is stressful.
Having a kid in the backseat, that's crazy.
Well, that is, that's fascinating because I would think that would be on this list. Wasn't in the top 10, and I think there's validity to that, Vicky. A screaming child is just like, oh my God, I hate this whole trip right now.
You know, the other one kind of gets me a little stressed out is when I have to go. I always call it threading the needle when you're stuck between there's two semis on each side of you.
Oh yeah,
or a big box truck or something, and especially when every once in a while, and I know it happens to everyone, but it feels more amplified when it's a semi, when they drift a little bit and they start riding those little turtle shells, and you're just like, oh boy. Because that's also how my grandfather passed away. Was he got sideswiped by a semi when he was going past one. Yeah, so it's just like that's, and then we have two of them on each side. You're just thread the needle, gotta go.
And God forbid there's another semi in front of you or just a slow driver, and it's like, come on, let me move.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, damn, dude. I'm sure you told us, but I think I didn't. Yeah. I forgot about your grandfather passing away that way. Man, that would
on my dad's side, not the one I was super close with, but still, they didn't talk to us for several years. But obviously, you don't want. The reason why you never get to talk again is because of a tragic accident like that.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's something that would make me think about it as I'm on the road. By the way, number 6 on the list, Steve, is having to drive between two, vehicles, getting passed by a big truck, stuff like that. Yeah, the number 6.
The only time that I think that I've been super stressed recently, in recent years, was when we had that really big snowstorm.
Number 1, Danny.
Oh my gosh! And I had to drive from West Seattle to downtown because we were going to stay in hotels, so that way we could make sure to be here. And I left at the worst possible time, and it was just blizzard status on the West Seattle Bridge. I couldn't see the lines. I was driving at the time. I had my girlfriend's car, and I swear I don't know how I made it to the city without wrecking.
White knuckling it the whole time.
Yeah, and it was that's the only time that my heart was going, and I was like, never again. And I got a truck after that.
See, I don't mind driving in the snow. Thankfully, having 4-wheel drive. And also just growing up and you just kind of know you have to take it easy when you're driving in the snow. What freaks me out is the other drivers, because there's some people that just get way too aggressive when it's snowing pretty fierce, and you're just like, I get it. You're in a rush to go to somewhere when you really aren't in a rush. You're just a fast driver. It's but there's too many variables when there's snow out there.
Yeah, because that's the thing is you're like, dude, I can control myself, but I can't control you. I mean, if you come sliding into me, there's no amount of snow tires and 4-wheel drive that can prevent that. I cannot prevent you being an idiot.
Oh, Texter has a good point. I thought the Target parking lot was the most stressful for Steve. You're right.
Oh, good call. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Just talking about it gives me the anxiety. Yeah. Thanks, Texter.
Well, I'm trying to see, actually, you know what? A parallel parking is the only one on the list when it comes to any kind of parking at all that gives people trouble while being behind the wheel.
To me, it had to happen just this past weekend when we went to the Point Defiance Zoo. Trying to find a parking spot when a bunch of other people are also trying to find a parking spot. So it's not as if when you're trying to parallel park, you just drive in the streets, and more often than not, you're not in a game, a race against somebody else to get that spot. Whereas when you're in a parking lot and everybody's acting like a vulture and just circling, and it's just and it always seems to be the car in front of me gets the spot.
Oh yeah,
every time.
Oh, no, I really don't like that. I mean, I don't know why businesses are allowed to open in places where they don't have enough parking. I just shake my head at that and go, I mean, you're a business. This is zoned for business. They know that you are a business that have people come to you, and yet they don't give you enough parking spaces. I don't know how this is a thing. I don't understand this. It's one of the problems I think, you have when do I have a choice? I drive to places that are much further than in the city, because I'm very close to the city, but I will drive 15, 20 minutes to another location because they have a big parking lot. Because I just don't want to mess with no parking. I just feel like this is so dumb. I love the Target downtown. If I would go to that Target downtown all the time, except I don't want to mess with that whole parking thing. It's just BS.
It's funny, when we go to Molly Moon's, I will go out of my way to not go to the Capitol Hill one, but go to the one in Wallingford because it's easier to find a parking spot.
Oh, dude, Capitol Hill is
crazy.
Mess.
Yeah,
it's a great part of town, but you're right. If you have a vehicle, it's a mess. I mean, that's when I wish that's why I can't wait for light rail, though I have no idea if it's going to affect Capitol Hill. Probably not, because it's a mess. You're just
there's way more people walking around and nobody's paying attention to crosswalks. It's just like a free for all.
Oh, yeah, it's a beating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So driving in snow is number 1, and getting passed by big trucks or threading the needles number 6. How about you? Well, Vicky, I guess everybody sort of weighed in. Yeah.
I've always been scared, and I don't know if this is necessarily a stress, but I've always been scared of falling asleep at the wheel.
Oh, I have.
I
woke up going through a stop sign.
Oh my gosh,
it was terrible.
I've never done it, but just because of our jobs, a lot of times, we wake up super early, and driving home, I feel tired, and I've had like a reoccurring nightmare that I'm like, I just can't stop my vehicle.
I went through a stop sign and ended up in a ditch.
Oh my gosh!
And then the cop came out. I was able to get out of it. Like, it was a small ditch, so I was able to get out of it. But it was still. I woke up and I was shaking, and then the cop showed up, made sure I was okay. Made sure I wasn't drunk, and I explained what was going on. And he was just like, well, I could give you a ticket. He was so cool. So I could give you a ticket, but I feel like you learned a really valuable lesson without me even having to give you a ticket. I'm like, you bet your ass I did. Like, that was that was back when I had that station wagon. I was like, that thing is a tank. It went through that stop sign. Like, it was insane, dude.
Wow.
The fact that I was okay after that. I mean, it wasn't going like 60.
So you mean you went through the sign itself?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you just blew through a stop sign.
To seeing the stop sign flying over my car.
Wow.
It was terrible.
That's amazing you survived that. Yeah.
I barely a dent on the station wagon. That thing was a beast. But the cop couldn't be cooler.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and after that, that was like the one time, I'm like, now, if I'm super sleepy, there's not a chance. Yep. I mean, I was young and dumb, I was just like, I could stay up late and then still go to work. I was dating somebody that lived like really far from me, and I was like trying to do everything, you know what I mean? And that was a wake up call. I mean,
how eerily similar.
That was a wake up call.
Oh yeah, I get it. How eerily similar, because it was over a girl. Because I had the same thing happen to me, where I was dating my wife. It was our first date, and I was up way too late. And it was probably 3-4 in the morning that I was driving home, and I had work that day and everything, and I hit another car. I woke up, and next thing I know, I'm like, wow, I'm running into another car.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was, luckily everybody was okay, and there were no vehicles on the roadway, but I did get a concussion, though I don't think I knew I had a concussion at the time, but it was nuts. It's so weird to wake up and go, what the F?
Mm-hmm. I've hit a few curbs that have woken me up. Luckily, they were curbs and not cars. But I always get comments, like even to this day, like I have a few little scrapes on my tires or my wheels. So when I have to go get a wheel rotation or a new tire, they always comment like, "Your tires are really messed up." I'm like, "Yeah,
I'm a bad driver."
Sorry about that.
I'm like, I'm a bad driver. I'm not sleeping.
I like to sleep when I drive. What's wrong with your pal?
Come on. Obviously, Dad's always like, "There's a new scuff on your wheel." Like, it was a long day. I'm sorry. Dads always point that out.
Yep,
that's what dads are here for.
Yeah, it's like, thanks, Dad.
One Texas says, I'm always afraid that my brakes will fail.
Oh, wow.
I had that happen once.
These are...
Steve, what are you doing?
I was going to say, these are things that really won't happen, but then again, here's Steve.
I was going down Denny Hill, and all of a sudden I hit the brakes, and like all of a sudden... And it was like, I must have been just grinding metal at that point. I was broke.
Yeah.
So, you kept like, I'll put it off. And then all of a sudden, luckily, I just was able to keep going to the point where like I could just pull off to the side and slow the car slowed itself down. But for if that light was red when I was going down, because I was just trying to slow down, and all of a sudden it just gave out. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. And thankfully nothing. Nobody got hurt.
Damn.
Now, if I even hear like a little squeak on my brakes, I freak out. I'm like, it's time to get new brakes.
Oh, yeah. Damn, dude. Boy, the gods were shining on both of us.
Yeah.
That's for sure, because easily that could have been a lot worse in all those situations.
That damn station wagon, really, it was a death trap. Yeah. I keep talking about how it was like a tank, but so many bad things happened in that thing.
Yeah. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
The state flag of Wyoming has the silhouette of what animal?
A honey badger.
No.
A beaver.
No.
Donkey.
No.
Okay. Yeah. We were looking for bison, Steve. That's what we were looking for, yeah. You want a shot at beating Steve? All right, you got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're going to play Beat Miggs at 8:48 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I figure out who my creditors are?
People a lot of times have had a long time of not having good credit and having collections, and so they're concerned that You may be concerned that you won't be able to find all your creditors if you file bankruptcy. How will I know which collection agency has my credit card bill from 10 years ago now? And that's something that's hard to keep track of because credit collection agencies transfer your debts all over the place. But we will pull all your credit bureaus, and by getting all three of your credit bureaus, we'll be able to tell who has your credit and debt now, which collection agencies have had it in the past, and we'll make sure that we file all your creditors when we file your bankruptcy so that nothing slips through the cracks.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Kickstart summer at Lowe's with Memorial Day savings on major appliances like the smart Whirlpool top-load washer featuring the 2-in-1 removable agitator in a color you'll only find at Lowe's. Take it out for bulky items, leave it in for a more thorough clean. You can customize any load, plus skip steps with the Load and Go dispenser. Simply add detergent once and skip the refills. Memorial Day savings start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today.